everyone, and welcome to our November 12th public meeting held on Zoom and live on YouTube. We begin this meeting, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance. So please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, everyone. So the next part of our meeting, we'll open this up to public comment. Charlene, I believe there is one person in the village.
Yes. Yes, there is. We're getting a little feedback.
To participate in public comment. And anyone else who'd like to do remotely, raise your hand. Charlene, are you with Amy?
Okay. Yes, Amy Plum and Eric Faulkner would like to address the board. Are they?
Thank you. Joe, do you see Amy there?
Kat, they're on. Kat, are you there? They're yes. On Kathy's computer. If they raise their hand, if you can let them in.
Okay, you got it. I had a little issue to take care of.
Okay.
Okay, we'll bring them in. Just hang on. Okay.
Charlene, are you
want them as panelists? Charlene?
Excuse me?
Do you want them as panelists?
Yes.
Okay, here they come. Ask to unmute.
You have to unmute, Kathy.
There we are. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amy Plum, and this is my neighbor, Eric Faulkner. We live on, I'm at 131 Bailey Road. Eric's at 117 Bailey Road. It is a private road here in the village that I have lived on. My husband and I bought and built a house 13 years ago. Eric's been there for
8 years.
8 years, okay. And we are, I'm not sure exactly how to go about this formally, but we are here to just ask the village for some help in fixing Bailey Road, the condition, the lack of condition on Bailey Road, which there was substantial damage done to Bailey Road during the building of the affordable houses for the employees who work in the village of Southampton, who work for the village of Southampton. And there are 3 beautiful homes up there. But when they were constructed, at the time, Mark Epley was the mayor, and they had to pretty much rip up my entire driveway and a large part of the road to add in for public water, which is we have on Bailey Road, which is great. And also for gas lines so that they wouldn't have to have propane tanks in their yards. But when they did that, they sawed up just right over, just right through the middle of Bailey Road. And then when the guys who did the construction for the village, for the project, did not put it back with pavement, they just simply filled the holes in. And now we are living with, it is just like this horrendous pothole mess. And it's just getting worse and worse and disintegrating and getting worse. And I know that Bailey Road is a private road and it always has been a private road, which was one of my concerns when Mark Epley thought that it would be a good idea to put affordable housing on Bailey Road. But it's a private road maintained by the homeowners, and the damage that we're talking about is right in front of the affordable houses, and that affects our pathway to our houses. And, we're not looking for, what do you call it? Like coping and curbing. We're just looking for you guys to come in and either use recycled gravel, which I know there's piles of it around the village. There were piles of it over by the dog park for a while. And I talked to Curtis Highsmith and Mark, which I have a bunch of emails between them and me to help fix it, just put it back. It should have been put back properly, but here we are. It's been 6 years since the houses were built, and it's just becoming a nightmare. And again, I know it's a private road. We all knew that going into it. I know Mark knew it going into it. And it was not put back. And we're just asking if you guys could help us patch up the mess that was made. And so that everybody, and I have pictures I can email to you guys so that you have in video so you can see. And I would invite you to come up to Bailey Road so you can see what I'm talking about, what Eric and I are talking about. But any help that the village could do. Again, we're not looking for, perfection. We're just looking for, the village to sort of put back what was there.
Amy, we will certainly, I'll reach out to Gary Gillespie and have a conversation with him about it tomorrow. And if you leave your contact information with Kathy, I'll reach out to you.
Okay, wonderful. Anything else?
No, I think Amy did an excellent job summing it up as two people that witnessed the construction project unfold when the village took ownership and then sold it to the housing authority, who then transferred the ownership to the new 3 owners. We felt that, like, it would be appropriate that the village take some sense of ownership of that project and the area of which since they took ownership of that land at one point,
right,
before
and
reselling.
then, not to get too deep, but at the time,
we only have 3 minutes actually.
okay, at the time, it was promised to me by Mark that, Mark Epley, that they would put it back, that he had escrowed $1 million from his father-in-law's project on North Bishop Lane, the Bishop Pond. And that was going to go to affordable housing. And that he was also going to use a portion of that money to put Bailey Road back together from where they caused the damage. And Mark and I spoke about it, and he promised he would take care of it, and it never happened. And here we are 2 mayors later, and Eric and I have kind of had it up to here. So we're asking for your help.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, just try to put it back together, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Amy.
Okay, Kat, you can bring them back
Great job.
to invitees. Okay.
Charlene, is there any additional public comment?
Oh, Kat, you have to change Charlene back to a participant.
We just lost her. All right.
Brian, can we proceed, or should we be waiting for?
Charlene, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Charlene. There
Okay.
you go.
All right, I think I'm back. Kat, do we have anybody else with their hand raised? I don't see anybody on my end. Okay, good. All right, so we can move on to Employee of the Month. We had a recommendation for Diane Greger, Building Department, the Secretary to the Boards and Assistant to the Building Inspector. Her date of hire was January 17th, 2006, and Diane is currently working her way to retirement. She's on terminal leave right now, and the request came through for all of her years of devotion to her position from Chris Talbot, her immediate supervisor, that she be named for as Employee of the Month for November.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Joe, do you have any comments on this? I know you had worked with her quite a bit, and just wanted to see if you had any words to share.
I just want to say thank you, Diane, for your service, and you'll be missed. And that's all.
Okay. Board presentations. We actually had requests for presentation from Hilton Crosby, who wants to talk a little bit about this year's polar bear plunge. Kat, can you bring Hilton forward as a panelist, please? Thank you. Hilton, you would need to unmute and join. I don't see.
Oh, there it is.
There he is.
Okay.
Hi, Hilton.
Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for having me when it's not your work session. We really appreciate it for accommodating us. Do you guys have any questions or anything before I start? Or do you want me to just go through it?
I think you could just go, Hilton.
So, hello everyone. I'm Hilton Crosby, Executive Director of Heart of the Hamptons. Thank you, Thank you, Mayor Warren and Village Trustees for having us here tonight. We would not be able to provide as much help to local people without the generous support of the village. Tonight, Heart of the Hamptons is requesting the use of Cooper's Beach and parking lot for the 17th annual Polar Bear Plunge on Saturday, December 12th. This year's plunge will look a lot different from previous years, but our mission of helping people in our local community remains the same and has grown stronger than ever this year. All the funds raised at this event will go directly towards helping people in our local community through our food pantry and assistance programs. This year, the plunge will be a virtual, do-it-yourself, and socially distanced. So we've had to get kind of creative. We are asking participants to make a short video, like 15 seconds, showing support for Heart of the Hamptons and how in the Southampton community, and to send this short video to us by December 7th. So then we can make a collective video and all kind of virtually plunge together. The idea is to get creative with these videos. You can get into a kiddie pool, turn on your cold shower, whatever it is. Just don't do something that's gonna, put your health and safety in jeopardy. On December 12th, we are planning to have people meet in their dressed up to show support vehicles by the train station in Southampton Village at 9 a.m. So at 9:30, we can parade down to Cooper's Beach parking lot to kick off the event. When we would normally jump into the cold water together, we will instead have a drive-through at Cooper's Beach parking lot for plungers and supporters to come by in their dressed up vehicles to drop off donations and pick up their custom 2020 Polar Bear Plunge hat. We got more beanies this year, and we still have the traditional caps as well. So we ran out of beanies pretty quick last year, and then we had a lot of requests. I don't even have one in my house. So also to show our dedication and commitment to this community, myself and a few of us from HOH will take the plunge the day of the event. I've been speaking to Jim Arnold from the Southampton Village Ocean Rescue. They've been extremely accommodating to us, and any requests they've obviously been able to say that they will honor it, and they've been extremely supportive of this entire thing and very patient with us in deciding on how we're going to do this. So we're hoping that that the community will also show support like everyone does every year. It's amazing. And even though the event will be very different. Starting Friday, November 20th, we will begin to collect donations online and start posting leaderboards for teams and individuals who collect donations in support of the plunge. Sponsorship opportunities are available as well, as always. Our goal last year was $125,000, and you guys blew that out of the water by reaching just under $150,000. And that is the most that we've raised for the event ever. So thank you very much for that. That was extremely impressive. This year we are going to double that. The reason is because the demand for our services has increased by a steady 300%. For just a quick statistic, or for example, last year in the entire year of 2019, we distributed 65,000 meals. To date, in 2020 so far, we have distributed 163,000 meals. I can't even say it. It's so basically 100,000 more meals as of now, even before our 2 busiest months have really kicked off fully. So we really need the support. Thank you very much for having me here briefly to discuss this. To get involved, the best way is to go to our website and sign up for our newsletters. Next week, we're going to be sending out a lot more detailed instructions and sponsors and leaderboards. So thank you very much for having me, and we look forward to seeing everyone on video and or from a distance. So thank you so much, and we appreciate it. It's been a difficult year, and we've kind of had to go through a lot to come up with this formula, but we feel like it's the most safe way to do this. Unfortunately, we are unable to do mass gatherings. There's an extreme resurgence of COVID, and if anybody knows the effect of COVID, it's Heart of the Hamptons, and we're still strong, fighting the good fight through our food pantry and everything. But this is what we need to do for this fundraiser. Hopefully next year we will be able to all join together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hilton. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we let Hilton go? Okay, I guess you're good to go, Hilton.
Okay.
Thank you, Hilton.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. All right, Kat. Okay, next I have communications from the board. We had an event that was planned for 2020 USA Endurance events. It was actually scheduled by resolution May 30th, 2020. I received a communication from Leanne Yarber from USA Endurance Events requesting to reschedule the 2020 event to May 8th, 2021. If anyone, we don't have any objections to that, we'll put a tickler in our note to actually add that at our next meeting to do a resolution to change that date.
Charlene, just if I may, I think that when we talked about it for last year, one of the things that was a concern for Chief Cummings was that prior to Memorial Day weekend, the TCOs would not be working. So that it could lead to a little bit of extra work. And so I think that is the reason why we had it the week that we did after Memorial Day. So we are putting this before Memorial Day. I know that there were some people on the board that thought that would be better, but I think we should reach out to the chief and just see about staffing and all of that. And maybe he can come with a recommendation to the board as well.
Okay.
On what would work.
I will certainly do that.
Thank you.
Okay. We do not have a public hearing on schedule for tonight's agenda. Next, we move to discussion items. The first thing that I just wanted to bring up quickly is, I don't know if we had noted before, but in December, traditionally, there is only one meeting. The December 10th meeting would be a Board of Trustees meeting, and the work session, there would be no work session as the second meeting. I just wanted to get a concurrence from the board if that's certainly the case, and we'll make sure that that's posted on the website. I think you're all muted.
Sure, that's fine.
That's fine with me too.
Okay. Okay.
You don't want to meet on the 22nd with the elves working overtime and hard?
I'm good with that, Charlene.
Okay. All right, so on to discussion item number one. We had a resolution noticing a public hearing later on the agenda to change the code, the village code for local law, notice of public hearing for participation in the community choice aggregation program, and Trustee Polaro is going to speak about that.
Thank you, Charlene. I appreciate it. Yes, I mean, this is something that has been brought to the board's attention by one of our residents. Also, it has been brought to the state's attention about 4 years ago, and it has been imposed. The state imposed this about 4 years ago. Long Island was a little late in adopting it, but basically what it does, it would allow our residents to select where the production of energy is created that is supplied to PSE&G. It would not change at all the provider of electricity to residents in our village. It only gives the choice of how the energy is supplied to PSE&G. Again, this is on for discussion just to bring the idea forward. There will be a presentation at our work session done by Deputy Supervisor Frank Zappone, and also then Lynn Arthur from Choice Community Power. So I'm hoping that they will answer a lot of the questions that may arise with regards to this local law that would need to be instated. The local law kind of has to be passed just so we can start to participate in this. So again, by opening a public hearing, by passing a public law, it doesn't do anything to change anything. It's just kind of our cost of entry as a village. I know that the town of Southampton is looking at this. I know that the town of East Hampton is looking at this. I know that Westchester County have implemented this and has seen some large cost savings in the 3 years that they have been working within this. So again, it is an opportunity to afford our residents a choice in the power that they use that is supplied to PSE&G.
Can I just add one other thing, Trustee Polaro? I'm not going to add anything to the substance of what you said, which is all accurate and correct. We have tonight, resolution number 24 is to set the public hearing for the December meeting. Do you want to have the present, being that that's going to be the night of the public hearing, do you think it's better to have the presentations at that meeting, or do you want to have the presentations at your work session and then maybe have a second presentation at the public hearing?
We will work I will work either way. If we think it's better to have it at the public hearing. The reason that I was doing it was a work session so that the board could learn and talk about it. Maybe, again, the beauty of this is we have time. We have time to decide that. So it's a great recommendation. And so let's see if we want to bring them in twice or only bring them in once.
Okay.
There's a quick question to Brian. Brian, do any of your municipalities deal with this by any chance?
This is really an East End initiative, and the East End villages and towns are really leading the way on this because your power infrastructure is a little bit different out there as opposed to the West End. But it definitely is something that a lot of municipalities on Long Island are looking at. I know the town of Brookhaven is actively looking at it, but the East End is definitely a leader on this. Oh, you're on mute, Mark.
No, I said great. So it's something that sounds like the East End should be jumping on. Thank you.
Okay, so any other discussion on this topic? Move on to the second topic for discussion, which is the 2020 Parade of Lights. I think Trustee McLaughlin and I think Trustee Aresta have been working with the DPW and the fire department on this.
Yes, so a few things on that. Mark, please feel free to chime in at any time because you'd also have something to do with this as well. So because the Parade of Lights is a chamber-sponsored event, and due to the rise in numbers of COVID, they chose not to do a event. Initially, we wanted to look at a drive-by event where the trucks could be decorated, but we can have the public drive by. But of course, with rising numbers in COVID, that was then there was a second thought. However, in speaking with Chief Stevens and Chief Callahan, who will be the chief come January, there's a possibility we may have some of the antique trucks on display that the weekend of Thanksgiving. So that's still kind of a question mark. But hopefully by end of week I will get a final tally as to whether or not the antiques will be on display. At least one or two of them, just to have some kind of festive look to the village, in addition to our beautiful decorations that we have out annually. In addition, I was Mark, if you want to chime in here for a sec, I was talking to the BRC, and they want to talk with us about having a doing I don't know if you spoke with Shannon from the BRC, but they also want to be engaged with us in terms of the window decorating contest, as well as they want to do some fundraising for the needy families in the area. So I don't know if you want to chime in about that, or you want to leave it till later. But if you have any comments on that, please feel free to chime in as well.
Okay, Joe, thank you. Yes, the BRC does want to be involved with basically what the email said. I know the board got them also about them wanting to working with the school and seeing that the families in need, that it'll be a good opportunity, possibly some local businesses that want to participate to be a drop-off center. The BRC is asking for the board's approval on that.
Right.
As far as the window decorations committee, the holiday decorating contest that is going on, the BRC is more than welcome to be part of that also. It's just one of those things where, I got a chance to go around and start soliciting other businesses around the village, and there seems to be a good response. So the more the merrier when it comes to the decorating of the village. So that's the way that I look at it. And so if the board at some point wants to come across the proposal by the BRC to help raise, gifts for the local families in need, I think that's probably something that we should definitely consider for the holidays. Thank
I'm
you.
okay with it. So I just want to pass it by all of you. Got something that Shannon approached you and I both about. I just want to make sure the whole board and the public is aware that the businesses do want to give back. They always have, and they want to give back in a more formal way with these gift boxes or what have you. That would include gift cards, and maybe if people want to leave checks or so forth, we can certainly arrange. Again, this is all about giving back for the holidays for the community. So,
Is this something that the board wants to discuss tonight? Being that we have one more meeting, right?
well, Shannon asked me to bring it up to us, so I'm just bringing it up now because it kind of loops in with the holiday decorations and so forth. So I wanted to just again pass it by you guys. But we can discuss it offline too.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks, everyone.
If there's any other discussion items, I suppose we'll move to the resolution portion. Resolution number 1, resolved claims for the warrant dated November 12th, 2020, totaling $3,314,660.27. Warrant number 11, general fund. $10,625.74 warrant number 6 for the capital fund, and $923 warrant number 1 for the CS trust fund be audited and approved.
So moved.
Move. Thank you, Mayor. Second.
Second.
Quick discussion. Charlene, are there any of the warrants that you'd like to point out to us, or anything that should be just mentioned into the public record?
Well, really quickly, you'll notice that the general fund warrant is a bit larger than normal this time around. Of that $3.3 million, $1.8 million is our annual contribution to the retirement system, which is due annually every December. And that what we need to do is have that approved, and then we need to wire the money. We generally do that before December 1st. So that's the reason for the spike in that amount. The $923 that's coming from the trust fund is coming from the Dog Park Trust Fund, which was a request for a dedication of a bench. So that's what that that cost is for, and the 10,625 from the capital fund is one of the, was approved on the last board meeting for the security system at the ambulance board.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No, okay. Resolution number 2, resolve that the reading of the minutes for the public sessions on September 22nd, 2020, October 1st, 8th, and 20th of 2020, special meeting of November 5th, 2020 be dispensed with, and that those minutes be accepted as filed by the village administrator, and that the actions taken at that meeting be and hereby are ratified and approved.
So moved.
Mayor. Second? Okay,
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, resolution number 3. Whereas in order to comply with Governor Cuomo's executive order, a comprehensive review of the current police policies and procedures, the village board intends to appoint a committee of 5 community members whom will advise the board in performing this review, and hire a law enforcement consulting firm to conduct the review. Now therefore be it resolved, the village will advertise and seek proposals from appropriately qualified police operations consulting firms to assist the village in performing a comprehensive review of current police policies, procedures, and practices in addressing potential racial bias in the policing of the community per Governor Cuomo's executive order. The police consulting group will also provide a review of the basic tasks and functions of the village's police department in connection with the executive order and other matters as directed by the Board of Trustees. A 5-member police commission consisting of village residents will work directly with the consulting group in executing and the agenda and priorities of the consulting study. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I have a couple questions on this. Joe, I spoke with you and Gina, I touched base with you this morning. This needs to be done. We all know that's a mandate from the governor, and it is a good thing to be getting done for, the village police department for funding in the future and a lot of other positive things that will come out of it. A couple questions that I have are, the mayor or even chief, if chief is around, or Joe, what is the plan? And maybe it can be explained to the community what this mandate is all about. So that way people understand that if we are going to be hiring, we're going to be appointing a board, and then we're going to be hiring a consulting group. What is the plan going to be? How is the community board going to be? Is there a certain individuals that is mandated by the governor that has to be on it? Or if you can just maybe educate everybody, that would be great.
So I'll do this for a second. So I've spoken to the chief several times about this issue. We're all aware that this has to happen, as you said, Trustee Parrish. I think overall, I think the committee has not been formally formed yet. That's what this resolution's for. The members have not been. We have not selected any members yet. We've so this is all about the process. This is all about the starting the process as to who we want to see on the committee. We have not done interviews, nor have we had. Again, this is just the beginning. So I have consistently told Chief Cummings that they will be an intimate part of the process from day one. They will be consulted on every step of the process. The chief did mention to me a few people. He emailed me about a few people that he wanted to see on the committee, and I will speak to those people and see what their feedback is. Again, this is the beginning process, and we get to see where we are in the coming weeks and months. And again, it's about engagement of the community and have a diverse committee in more ways than one. And I'm hopeful that we can resolve the issues as per the governor's order with having all hands on deck and everyone involved. So
thank you.
that's
So the plan is that we will be at some point hiring a consultant. And that consultant will work with the community board members who then will report to us, who we will, as a board, appoint. Now, is this going to be a committee or a task force? And if that is the case, is this a duration of years, or is it appointed for 2-year terms or anything like that, like we've done with some of these other boards? Because obviously, this program the governor is mandating is an important one going forward. And is there any length of time, Brian, that you know that the governor wants this to continue, or just a one and done?
So you're ringing my bell all the time with the committee and task force distinction, so I appreciate that on streamlining government. Yeah, no, and I invite the trustees and I invite the public to look at Executive Order number 203, which will actually be interesting because the executive orders expire within 30 days once the emergency passes. So it's interesting to see actually what will happen with that jurisdictionally, and that'll be a question for the courts in the future. But Executive Order number 203 lays out the governor's plan very specifically, the New York State Police Reform and Reinvention Collaborative. And he puts on that, in that order, a deadline of April 1st, 2021, that may be extended based on the volume of work that all of the other villages and townships that have police departments throughout the state conducting the same review. He even lays out specifically what he wants the committee to stakeholder committee to review in detail, such as evidence-based policing strategies, use of force policies, procedural justice, any studies addressing systemic racial bias or racial justice in policing, implicit bias awareness training, very sophisticated police review. And that was the goal, the mayor's goal and Trustee McLaughlin's goal to propose an expert in these police tactics, these police reviews, I shouldn't say tactics, strategies, procedures, to have them reviewed and to advise that stakeholder committee. The governor's order also, by the way, makes it very clear that police leadership, and certainly, Chief Cummings is one of the best. We're going to rely on him very strongly, but police leadership will be involved in every step of this procedure because they're the ones who are implementing it. It's their policy, it's their procedure, and quite frankly, it's their experience that we count on. So he will be very involved throughout it. But it is more, it's not a long-winded answer, Trustee Parrish. It's not a committee, it is a task force. And as of now, it has an end date with a deliverable of April 1st, 2021.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian.
Trustee Plera.
Joe, Trustee McLaughlin, have you, when, we spoke about this a little as well, the chief, I would assume, when this came down in June, he's probably started working on doing some of this, because from what I understand, there is a ton of work that needs to be done. Have you spoken to him about what has already been, looked at, what the police department is already looking at and seeing? And is there a way to have the chief, report out to the board on the things that have been done already and looked at?
I have not spoken with him. I have not spoken with him on at length about this. Because we have other matters that we discuss when I see him in person, and his time is precious and limited. So, but going forward, I think it would be good to have him have the department summarize what they feel is appropriate, and where the shortfalls are, where the pitfalls are, and where we're good. And I think there are some avenues where we are pretty sufficient. But that being said, I think these discussions deserve their own separate meaning in terms of, because when I meet with him, it's usually about issues involving traffic or other daily issues that we encounter as trustees and other issues. So I will be sitting down with him sooner than later. I know Charlene and I do plan speaking with some of the top brass, and when we do, I hope to discuss these issues in detail with them in private. Okay, good. Because I think, one of the things that I think bodes well for the
Village Police, the Southampton Village Police Department is we are an accredited police department by New York State. Not everyone has that designation. So
I believe we've had it for decades. So
exactly, exactly. So, but no, I think this is great that we're looking into it and all of this. Also, one thing that we may want to look at too is talking to other villages, around us as well, to see kind of the works that they have undertaken already, and stuff, just so we're not reinventing the wheel.
Yes.
As well. That might be something to look at too.
That is.
So
Absolutely.
Okay, is there any more discussion on this resolution? Okay, I guess we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Resolved, the JCAP Justice Court Assistance Program shall obtain, in accordance with the acceptable procurement practices, up to the maximum amount available of $23,860. This is an application for a JCAP grant. According to Justice Wilson, they are looking, this is an annual funding that's available through the state. Specifically for improvements to justice courts, to the building in the courtroom itself, to enhance security, et cetera. And I think what they're proposing this year, the estimate that they proposed for that grant application is for a new transaction window, which would provide some security and also provide some COVID, basically being in compliance with COVID regulations on social distancing. So do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Resolution number 5. To approve a memorandum of agreement between Suffolk County Community College and the Southampton Village Volunteer Emergency Ambulance Service Incorporated, which offers an emergency medical technician EMT paramedic AAS degree and other EMT courses for non-degree seeking students. Term of agreement shall be for 1 year, effective January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. Renewable for an additional 1-year term upon mutual written consent of both parties. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
if you would like, I mean, if anyone cares, I mean, this is a program where Suffolk Community College will host EMT classes in our building. It will be provided to the public, but also members of our volunteer ambulance department. So it is a nice win-win for everyone involved.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Resolved that a public hearing be held at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 24th to hear citizens' views on local needs with respect to the Community Development Program for the year 2021. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Just to, to elaborate, this is the annual request for the CDBG funds that we receive, the village receives every year. We currently have a recurring grant for Heart of the Hamptons and for the daycare facility, which I presume will be additional applications for 2021. And also, in addition, if anyone has any for municipal or village facilities, if we have any ADA improvements that we'd like to make to any of our facilities, we're open for suggestions from board members or our department heads, and we can certainly add that to our request. This is actually, the applications are due. I know that we discussed that we didn't want to have a public hearing on December 1st, on the work sessions, but the deadline for this application is December 1st. Any questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Resolution number 7, resolved that the 17th annual Polar Bear Plunge will be held Saturday, December 12th, 2020 at Cooper's Beach.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Resolve that the following list of vehicles are submitted for auction. We have a list here, 2002 Ford Explorer from the Building Maintenance Department, a 2005 Chevy Tahoe from Central Garage, a 1996 Chevrolet 2500 Bear chassis from Building Maintenance, 2007 Ford Crown Victoria from the Police Department, a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder from the Police Department, and a 2003 Volkswagen Passat from Police as well. Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Number 9, resolved that to adopt a local law to amend section 110.43 Schedule L, stopping, standing, and parking restrictions of chapter 110 of the Village Code to regulate parking at Railroad Plaza as presented. This was the continuation from the last meeting. We had the public hearing, and we decided to move the resolution for further discussion to this meeting. Do we have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Any opposed, or any discussion?
My only question to the board is, did we want to keep this open any longer, or do we want to, obviously we could withdraw. I'm fine either way, but just wanted to see if the board was comfortable adopting this tonight, or if it made more sense to keep this open.
Mayor, what's your position on wanting to extend it? Just because we haven't had a lot of community residents really, voice their, concern over having nothing there that really has teeth in it. So I could go either way, but I think that the last meeting, I know Brian spoke, I know Gary spoke, and we sort of had an idea to try and get this wrapped up. So unless there is something that you think that maybe will be open, just I'm more than happy to listen if there's something that concerns you.
No, that's exactly right, Trustee Parrish. It's essentially, we didn't really hear a lot of community input, and so that was the only thing I was concerned about. But I think it's generally a reasonable, local law. We've discussed this now for I think a few months, so I'm fine to vote, and of course vote yes. But just if anyone thought we should get some more input, but again, mostly 6 of one, half dozen of another at this point.
Any other board members?
Okay, I guess we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? No. Okay, now, resolution number 10, trustee Polaro and I think trustee Parrish had requested to be recused from this resolution, as they currently sit on the Christmas decorations committee. Brian, do we need to bring them out from being, they actually already did that, okay?
Oh, that's fine. They could, I know it's goofy on
Okay.
Zoom, but yeah, just doing that on video is fine. They can just, then they're gonna recuse from the vote.
Okay, great. So whereas the Christmas Decorations Committee Incorporated Committee is a nonprofit organization that provides festive decorations and events that enhance the village of Southampton, therefore be it resolved that the village accepts the donation of Christmas decorations from the committee. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Charlene,
opposed?
before you move forward with number 11, I spoke to trustee Parrish. I think we're going to withdraw this one, number
Okay,
11.
we want to bring trustee Parrish and Polaro. There they are. They're
Thank you, board.
okay.
Thank you, board. Yes, Mayor, that is correct.
All right.
Okay, so
thank you.
we're tabling, withdrawing.
Moving.
We're going to withdraw. Okay. Number 12, resolve that the mayor is authorized to sign an agreement with Payment Services Software Consulting Associates to allow residents to pay their tax bills online with credit card or e-check, plus a processing fee at a cost to the village of $300. We have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Long
I-
overdue.
Yes, I would agree.
Long overdue.
Okay, so just to clarify, I do have here the list of, where did that go? It's in here. I have the charge, the costs, the processing costs in case anyone was asking. It's here somewhere, I missed it too, right? Okay, there it is. Okay, so basically what happens is there is no provision, and Brian could, I'm sure, elaborate on this, for us to absorb a fee on tax collections in New York State. So that the processing fee is actually passed on to the taxpayer who's using the service. Of course, the most reasonable payment method would be an electronic check, which has a flat fee of $1.95 per transaction. The credit card, it would be, the credit card payments are minimum for minimum fee of $3.50 per transaction plus 2.9% of the amount of the transaction. So I know that usually most folks go with the e-check as it's the most cost-effective way to pay your taxes. And that is that hopefully will be available for our next, and I think it will be available if we implement now for our next tax collection season.
Is there any way showing to get that at the public so that they're notified as to how
It'll show up actually when we have the link. It'll actually be a link on our website. So it'll say pay your tax bill here. It'll
Okay.
take you outside to the third party, and then it'll list the different costs right there on the website. So they'll see that before they proceed with the transaction.
Okay.
But of
great.
course, you could still come in and pay with your check.
Of course, or mail it in.
Just want to make it clear.
Yes, absolutely. Just in case someone wants to social distance and stay home and pay their bills online. Okay, so can I call for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Resolved that the Board of Trustees approves the following holiday schedule for 2021. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Monday, January 18th, 2021. President's Day, Monday, February 15th, 2021. Memorial Day, Monday, May 31st. Independence Day will be observed Monday, July 5th. Labor Day will be Monday, September 6th. Columbus Day, Monday, October 11th. Veterans Day, Thursday, November 11th. Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 25th. The day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 26th. 1/2 a day for Christmas Eve, Friday, December 24th. Christmas Eve observed is Monday, December 27th, as Christmas falls on a weekend. 1/2 a day for New Year's Eve would be Friday, December 31st, and New Year's Day observed will be Monday, January 3rd. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Number 14, resolve to amend that Thomas Rowinski's position be reclassified from maintenance mechanic 1 to maintenance mechanic 3 effective October 9th, 2020 to include a new salary of $60,531.26. This was actually a Scribner's error when we had the resolution on the last meeting to accept the reclassification that was handed to us from civil service. It did not include the new salary, which is required. So that's the explanation for this one. Do we have a motion?
Second.
Okay.
I make the motion.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Resolution 15, 16, and 17. These resolutions, usually at the organizational meeting, the salaries, these reappointments are made to the exempt staff in the clerk's office and the deputy treasurer. And there's usually some type of a salary adjustment to that. The appointments were made at the October 8th meeting and there was no adjustment for salary. So these resolutions are correcting that. So resolved that the annual salary for Pat Letterman, deputy treasurer shall be increased by $2,000 to $103,179.06. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Number 16, resolved that the annual salary of Kathy Sweeney, deputy clerk, shall be increased by $6,500 to $73,450. we have a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 17, resolved that the annual salary of Mimi Michelle Guerrera be increased by $5,000 to $80,763.23. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 18, resolved accountant Julie Crudup shall be retained to provide accounting support to implement capital project accounting and Envision at a rate of $45 an hour. This is a temporary position that we are going to, that I'm requesting. This young lady actually interned and worked for me in East Hampton for a while. She's very familiar with financial software and fund accounting as well. And so there's some schedules that need to be updated since May for capital projects, because we've been tracking a lot of our projects on Excel spreadsheets rather than in the software. And then we're going to implement the live project accounting in Envision. So that's what this is about. And we're estimating that a total budget for the project will be about 40 hours at the $45 an hour. We had requested that our accountant, Eileen Tui, perform this service for us, but she, due to family issues, that she was unable to provide some additional support. So that said, that's what I did circulate the resume of Ms. Crudup to everyone earlier today. So with that said, do we have a motion
Motion.
and a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right. Number 19, Dennis J. Chuppy is accepted into Southampton Fire Department Police Company number 1 as probationary member for 6 months. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Resolution number 20, to accept the resignation of Alexandra Halsey Storch as Assistant Village Attorney. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 21. Whereas the New York State Archives has developed a new record retention policy for local governments, and the new policy supersedes and replaces all existing record retention schedules. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees that the retention disposition schedule for New York local government records LGS-1 issued pursuant to Article 57A of the Arts and Cultural Affairs Law and containing legal minimum retention periods for local government records is hereby adopted for use by all officers in legally disposing of valueless records listed therein, and that in accordance with Article 57-A, only those records will be disposed of that are described in the retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records after they have met the minimum retention periods described therein. And B, only those records will be disposed of that do not have sufficient administrative, fiscal, legal, or historical value to merit retention beyond the established legal minimum periods, and that the resolution shall take effect immediately. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? I think Brian had suggested this to us, this resolution.
It just makes the clerk's life a lot easier. And I just like the language of valueless records. That's just kind of fun. But the National Archive, National Archives, the State Archives put this proposal together. So it just covers the village and its records management.
Thank you.
Okay, Kathy says, thank you, Brian. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, resolution number 2, that the mayor, 22, I'm sorry, the mayor is authorized to sign the agreement with Civic Clerk online meeting agenda and minutes software at a cost of $8,556 to be paid from a 1010.4, a 1210.4, a 1410.4, a A8010.4, A8020.4, and A8030.4. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Just to clarify, this last Friday, Mimi, Kathy, and I actually viewed a demo from Civic Plus, which is the software that provides the provider of our website software, that they have an add-on module that will allow us to create minutes, create agendas, create resolutions, and convert the resolution, the agenda to a minutes form in a much easier capacity rather than everything being done in a Word document. And more importantly, you have the ability, the board would all have usernames and login, and you'd be able to search for resolutions by keywords or dates or type of resolution. Also, it would allow for our public to do the same. Instead of having to come to Village Hall or fill out a FOIL form to get a copy of a resolution, they would be able to access any adopted resolutions or prior agendas online. So we would, spread the cost of this across all the boards that would be using it. The land use boards would also be trained. So this would include implementation, training, and hopefully we'd be ready to go pretty quickly. So this was quite a dynamic product, and we were very impressed with it. And I think it'll make things a lot easier. And we won't be 3 or 4 meetings behind on minutes anymore, because it'll be a lot easier to convert the minutes, the agendas into minutes. So that being said, do we have any questions from the board? Okay, all right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Resolution number 23, resolved to set a public hearing for December 10th to consider amendments to section 116-10.1 of the accessory apartment overlay district. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, this was, Brian, did you want to speak about this?
Or actually, trustee Polaro.
Oh, trustee Polaro.
Sure. Again, I mean, I think this is something that we talked about at the last, and I brought up just to try and make it a little bit easier for any of our village residents who do have accessory apartments. And we want to try and help them, bring everything up and into code. So I think this will just be a way that we can make it a lot easier for them to do it. I know that Trustee McLaughlin has also, thought about this, and we talked a little bit about it earlier with regards to the Planning Commission as well. And I know that before that even, I know Chris Talbot had been working with Trustee Allen as well on trying to get this done. So I think it's, time that we can do it. We have an allowance of 20 accessory apartments in the village. We have none on our books right now. And I think one of the reasons because of that is because the way that one needs to go about it is kind of all over the map. So if we can streamline the process, make it a little easier for our residents, I think, again, it would be very helpful to our residents.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, resolution number 24, resolved to set a public hearing for December 10th, 2020 to consider the adoption of Village Code Chapter 49A, Community Choice Aggregation Energy Program. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution number 25, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approve the following payments from the Capital Reserve account, subject to permissive referendum. Fire chief's vehicle, total request $80,000. There's 3 purchase orders: a National Fleet for a Chevy Silverado, from the fire equipment reserve for $46,174.70. Island Tech Services for a mobile computer to be mounted in the vehicle, $3,866, and Integrated Services for lights, siren, and retrofit console for the interior of the vehicle for $28,714.49. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Shirley, maybe you can just let us know, I guess, what account this is coming out of. I know you and Trustee McLaughlin worked to go find money for this. So just if you can just explain to us.
There's actually, the village has capital reserve accounts that are broken up into different categories. There's a fire equipment reserve, a fire truck reserve, and the allocations that are made from the village budget and from operating budget every year are placed into these reserves. And then, they're there. The village board created the capital reserve account, years ago, and made a commitment to fund it every year. And then there's balances, there's sufficient balances in each one of these accounts. And then any allocation from the account first comes to us. We make sure that there's a, provision there. We also make sure that, for example, the fire department gives us a long-range 7-year capital plan. We make sure that whatever they're requesting on that transfer from the capital reserve fund is actually part of the plan that they submit to the board. And this vehicle was on the plan to be replaced this year. And it was approved by both the chief and by the fire district commissioners. Trustee McLaughlin and I met with the commissioners the other day, and they actually gave this their blessing. So.
Thank you very much, Charlene, for that.
Okay.
Charlene, just to clarify for the public, this money was already set aside, so it has
Yes.
been reserved and is coming out of those funded accounts. Great.
This is coming out of the equipment reserve account that was set aside for the fire department. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approve the following budget amendment for COVID air filters for village meeting rooms. We'll be taking a decrease from the contingency account in the amount of $10,000 and an increase in A6050.2 COVID equipment in the amount of $10,000. This was a resolution we were buying HEPA filters for both Village Hall and for I guess the Southampton Art Center and I think the Cultural Center. I think that's where I have a list that Gary had given me for when we start to begin to have in-person meetings. The rooms will be, the air will be properly filtered, and they are on back order as well. So we did create this. The COVID equipment and the COVID supply lines were created early on so that we can track purchases that are specifically related to COVID. And I actually have the ability to submit any COVID related expenses to the county for there's a CDBG approved allocation that we could submit for reimbursement in the amount of $4,000. And, we can also give it a shot and try to submit some money to FEMA and see if that works as well. But anything, this does qualify as a reimbursable expense. So we have a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any questions or discussion?
I got a silly question, Charlotte. Are they really called COVID filters?
No, they're not called. They're called. What are they called?
Are they MERV 19? Something like that, is it?
Yeah, I think.
What are they called?
I don't know. Gary gave us the. I think they're. I know that they're a high-powered air
I
filter.
think they're called MERV 19. I saw the COVID filter. I just had to ask you that.
Okay. That's what we called it, so we know what it was.
And we knew it would be a reimbursement.
Yeah. And we knew it would be reimbursable. Everything says COVID on it when we know it's
Exactly.
reimbursable. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. All right. We have a mayoral appointment.
Charlene, you can take it. Thank you. You're doing a great job tonight.
Resolve that Edward Moneypenny be appointed to the Budget and Finance Committee for a term ending June 30th, 2021. Do we have a motion?
I make that motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the topic?
Great name for the Finance Committee.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That gets him in right there.
All right. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, no. All right. That's the conclusion of our resolutions. And now we move on to comments from the board. Trustee Aresta, you're first on the Alphabetical list.
Well, first, I'd like to thank Bob Grisnick and the CBO for yesterday's ceremony for the veterans held in Agawam Park. It was really quite moving, the stories, and just to see our vets that despite COVID, they were all there and holding the flags. It was really quite moving. If you weren't able to get there, CTV was there, and hopefully I was told by the ladies that it would be up on YouTube, on the village YouTube, probably by next week, but take a moment to see it. It was really quite moving. And I have my dad's pin on tonight for Veterans Day. He was a World War II veteran, along with his two brothers. So that's this pin here. I'd like to also thank Hilton for being so creative in getting that polar bear plunge going. And that takes a lot of planning and a lot of different ideas, and it's so needed. And thank you, Hilton. Fall cleanup, if you don't know, has begun. So leaf pickup has begun, and please have your leaves in biodegradable bags. No contractors, no brush, no branches, and our highway department does such a great job with that every year. And lastly, we're talking about Christmas, and if you've been down Main Street, we've already started decorating, so I know the village is going to be looking as beautiful as ever. So thank you.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Thank you. I also want to echo Trustee Rusta's comments on yesterday's event. It's a great event for all involved, and also about the decorations. Should look great this year as always. So I had a few things I want to mention. Number one, I wanted to thank Alexandra for her hard work and time served in the village. She will be sorely missed. I'm only sorry I can only work with her for a few weeks, but she was great at what she did, and I wish her luck in her new in her new position wherever she is. So that's that. And also I want to take this opportunity. It is Thanksgiving in 2 weeks. I wanted to extend it, in case I forget next week, to thank all of the boards and the committees who sacrificed their time and with a little to no compensation to assist us in our endeavor to work for the village. And they do deserve our thanks from the ARB all the way down to the committees of the subcommittee and the budget committee. They all sacrifice their hours of time to help the village in many ways. So I just want to thank all of them and wish them luck in this difficult time. And they've been doing a great job, and I hope to continue working with all of them very closely. And also lastly, last but not least, to welcome officially Miranda to the team, to working with us in Village Hall. Thank you for assuming the task as the mayor's assistant. I wish you luck, and look forward to working with you in the months and years to come, hopefully. Thanks.
Trustee Parish.
Good evening, and to add on to the previous trustees' comments, yes, yesterday was a touching ceremony in Agawam Park for Veterans Day. I was glad I was part of that. To Alexandra, all the best going forward with your new position. Thank you. So I'm going to jump on a little bit of Christmas. As you know, last year we had a very successful holiday decorating event in the village where all the businesses that were open at the time definitely got into the spirit, did their windows, did their buildings, and really made the village beautiful and bright for the holidays. It was a great success, and we're gonna jump on that again. I personally was able to walk around and hand out some flyers recently, and the businesses are excited. There are more businesses here now that are open, so it's going to be even much more vibrant. This year, we're also encouraging a lot of the businesses that we did last year, where we had ice sculptures. This is a company from up the island that comes out. They will do your logos. They will do anything you want. They are incredible. They are award-winning. And we're encouraging the businesses to jump on that, because what the idea would be for the villages on the day after Thanksgiving is really have our village just shine between the Christmas tree lights, between the buildings and the windows all lit up, and to really provide, you know, the public with an opportunity to come down and enjoy our village and really feel good about, you know, the holidays, even though we are in a very challenging time. So I'm looking forward to that to be a great day for the village. The contest will start the day after Thanksgiving and it will run through the last day of judging, will be the 18th of December. There will be prizes awarded for first, second, and third. And again, thank you to everybody who's going to participate. It's going to be phenomenal. COVID updates. As you know, we are seeing surges in Suffolk County, unfortunately. The governor has put out some new orders. I ask everybody that is around this East End to just continue to wear your mask, continue to do, you know, these safe practices. And we have been very blessed out here to have lower numbers, but we are seeing an increase. And we actually have a call tomorrow with the county exec, so we're going to hear some of the, you know, plans they are doing. And so finally, a couple comments from residents lately. A lot of walking, a lot of biking, a lot of great things going on outside in our village streets with this beautiful weather, especially last weekend. It's just been unbelievable to be out here. The problem that I'm hearing is that a lot of the people that are enjoying these outside are not doing it in a way that makes it fit well with cars and things like that. So a lot of people are walking side by side, bicycling side by side, and that creates a big problem for cars and the people walking and bicycling. And we just want to really make sure that this village is as safe as it can be. And I ask that as you're out there enjoying your time in the beautiful village of Southampton, to try and maintain single file and let's be aware of all the other, you know, vehicles, bicyclists, and all the other pedestrians that are around. So on that, that is it. Thank you.
Okay, Trustee Polaro.
Thank you, Charlene. Yeah, I will echo as well and thank Alexandra for her work over the last, 12 to 15 months or so as assistant village attorney. And she certainly stepped up big time prior to Brian Egan coming on. So thank you for that. Wishing you the best of luck in your next endeavor. Look forward to working with Miranda as I've yet to get into Village Hall. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get in to meet with her. And from my standpoint on reporting, I really don't have anything with regard to the ambulance department, our village volunteers. We did pass a resolution today, so that will be, classes will begin next year. It will last for the entire college semester. So if anyone is looking to become EMT trained, they can certainly reach out.
Okay, great. Mayor Warren.
Thank you, Charlene. Just wanted to echo everyone's thoughts. It was a beautiful day for Veterans Day. We got very lucky with the weather and just wanted to thank all of our veterans for their service, as well as Mr. Grisnick and Bill Jones for always stepping up and putting together great Veterans Day celebrations. Definitely missed the parade, but hopefully for next Veterans Day, we'll be back for that. Also wanted to thank the Business Revitalization Committee, especially Shannon for her work, and Sharon as well from Xanadu with their gift giving drive. That's fantastic. Also, I wanted to thank and recognize Diane Greger, Employee of the Month, for her service to the building department. Didn't get a chance to do it earlier, but she's been great and been working hard for us for many years. Also wanted to give Charlene a thank you. Really great job running this meeting tonight. And also thank you for some of the things that you've helped us, help this board achieve, such as the credit card payments, electronic checks, civic clerk, which will be a big help to us. Wanted to thank Trustee Polaro for his work with the CCA, the Community Choice Aggregation. Looking forward to the presentation that we have. And then to echo Trustee Parrish, absolutely, as far as the spike in some of the Suffolk County COVID numbers, but just wanted to remind everyone that we are doing certain things. As you saw tonight, we passed a resolution for the transfers for those air purifier machines. So we're looking forward to getting those in. Earlier in the first wave, our board passed a resolution to buy a professional grade spray sanitization machine. And that has been already used on some of our vehicles to sanitize our vehicles for some of our employees. And we're doing a temperature checks. We actually have it was a gift to us that's coming in from Dr. Mikolos, just a electronic temperature machine, not the ones you have to touch, but you can just look into it and scan your temperature. So hopefully that will come by tomorrow. So the village is taking some good steps and using some technology to help fight against COVID. And also a quick update, just received a notice from the Long Island Development Corp, which will help small businesses earn revolving credit facilities, very low interest loans, such as 1% for the first year. So anyone who is watching our meeting tonight, who is a small business owner, could go to the Long Island Development Corp website to look into those special small business credit facilities at low interest rates. So, and in conclusion, just wanted to thank our entire board. It was a great meeting tonight, and looking forward to the next one.
Okay. So we will need a motion to adjourn to executive session for discussing contractual litigation and specific village personnel matters. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good job.
We move everyone to exec session, please.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to return to regular session at 8:13 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, and we have one resolution that we're going to have the board consider. Resolve that Jackie Allen is hereby appointed to the position of secretary to the board's assistant to the building inspector at a salary of $60,000 effective November 13th,
So moved.
20. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now do we have a motion to adjourn public session?
Can make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.